Long-term food storage is a strategic practice involving the preservation of food for extended periods, often months or years, to ensure availability during emergencies, economic downturns, or simply to maintain a consistent food supply. At its core, it encompasses a variety of methods such as canning, freezing, dehydrating, and vacuum sealing, all aimed at extending the shelf life of perishable goods. The practice is critical, not only for individual households but also on a larger scale for community resilience and preparedness. It serves as a safeguard against unforeseen events, from natural disasters to economic instability, ensuring that individuals and families can sustain themselves when fresh food is either unavailable or extremely costly. For example, canning and dehydrating are two approaches that exemplify the core principles of long-term food storage. Canning involves preserving food in airtight containers, sometimes lasting up to 5 years or more when done correctly. This is popular for preserving fruits, vegetables, and even meats, retaining nutritional value and taste. Dehydrating, on the other hand, removes moisture from food, significantly prolonging its shelf life and reducing storage space requirements. It's perfect for snacks like dried fruits and can be essential for hikers and campers needing lightweight, long-lasting nutrition. Support for long-term food storage often stems from the peace of mind it provides. Knowing that a reliable food supply is secure, regardless of external circumstances, is a powerful incentive for individuals. Proponents also highlight its economic benefits. Buying in bulk and storing efficiently can save significant money over time. However, some argue that the focus on certain food storage methods, like excessive reliance on processed canned goods, might not always prioritize health, pointing out the nutritional advantages of fresh foods. Others may express concerns over the initial costs and learning curve associated with these storage methods. Long-term food storage connects deeply with broader strategies of sustainable living and preparedness. It encourages thoughtful consumption and waste reduction, influencing buying habits and promoting personal responsibility. The practice also intersects with issues like food security and self-sufficiency, fostering a culture of preparedness that extends beyond individual homes to entire communities. As part of an interconnected strategy, it challenges individuals to think about their role in sustainable practices. In understanding these connections, the discourse around food storage not only focuses on survival, but also on a more comprehensive perspective of how we relate to food systems and emergency preparedness as a whole. When considering the do's and don'ts of long-term food storage, understanding the basic principles of food preservation is essential. Food preservation involves processes that prevent food spoilage, ensuring that nutrition and edibility are maintained over an extended period. This concept is critical to long-term food storage as it directly impacts the longevity and safety of stored food items, a key concern for families, preppers, and anyone interested in minimizing waste and maximizing resources. The significance of food preservation lies in its ability to extend shelf life without compromising nutritional value. Techniques such as canning, dehydration, freezing, and fermentation have traditionally been employed to control factors like moisture, temperature, and microbial growth, all of which contribute to spoilage. For example, canning involves sealing food in airtight containers and heat processing them to destroy spoilage-causing organisms. Dehydration, on the other hand, works by removing moisture, making it difficult for bacteria and molds to thrive. From a real-world perspective, consider the canning of seasonal fruits and vegetables. This method not only ensures that these foods are available even when out of season, but it also allows for the enjoyment of summer's bounty in winter months, giving individuals more control over their diets. Similarly, the freezing of fresh meat allows it to be stored long-term without the immediate need for consumption, facilitating meal planning and reducing grocery trips. Advocates of food preservation emphasize its role in promoting food security and sustainability. By reducing dependence on perishable goods and avoiding frequent shopping, preservation practices support environmentally friendly lifestyles. However, challenges and controversies do exist. Some preservation methods, particularly those involving chemicals or excessive processing, raise health concerns due to potential nutritional loss or exposure to additives. Furthermore, there's a need to balance traditional practices with modern technology. While pressure canning and freezing are effective, they require energy and resources, raising questions about their environmental impact. An alternative viewpoint suggests the use of solar drying or root cellaring as low-energy, eco-conscious options. In the broader context of long-term food storage, understanding and implementing basic preservation principles is foundational. These techniques not only prolong shelf life but also directly influence storage strategies, economic savings, and food security measures. As individuals become more educated about preservation, they can make informed decisions that enhance their readiness and resilience, ultimately strengthening other aspects of food storage practices. The concept of essential dues in long-term storage revolves around the practices and principles that ensure the effectiveness and reliability of storing food over extended periods. This involves understanding the necessary conditions and methods to preserve food quality, nutrition, and safety, ultimately enabling individuals to maintain a steady supply of essential nutrients during emergencies, shortages, or economic fluctuations. The significance of these dues is paramount, as improper storage can lead to spoilage, loss of nutrients, and potential health risks, undermining the very purpose of food storage. To illustrate, consider the practice of using airtight containers for storing grains and legumes. This prevents exposure to moisture and air, significantly reducing the chances of mold growth and insect infestations. Another example is the rotation of food supplies, a process where newly acquired items are placed behind older ones, ensuring that older stock is used first. This minimizes waste by preventing items from expiring before they are consumed. Supporting these practices are opinions from food preservation experts and nutritionists who emphasize the economic and health benefits of well-maintained, long-term food storage. They argue that these practices not only provide peace of mind during uncertain times, but also contribute to a sustainable lifestyle by reducing food waste and optimizing resource use. However, challenges and differing viewpoints exist. Some critics argue that the investment in proper storage equipment and the time commitment required may not be practical for everyone. Others point out potential problems with maintaining nutritional quality over time, especially with dried or canned foods, which may degrade despite optimal storage techniques. These essential dues are interconnected with other aspects of the main topic, such as the don'ts, which might include pitfalls to avoid, like neglecting temperature control or overlooking items' shelf lives. Together, the do's and don'ts form a comprehensive approach to food storage, helping individuals make informed decisions that support long-term sustenance. Ultimately, understanding and implementing these essential practices can dramatically influence the effectiveness of a long-term food storage strategy, ensuring that stored foods remain safe, nutritious, and palatable when needed. In sum, mastering these essential dues serves as the backbone of an effective long-term food storage plan, safeguarding against unpredictability and enhancing preparedness for the future. In the world of long-term food storage, knowing what not to do is as crucial as understanding the best practices. The concept of key don'ts to avoid in food storage focuses on the practices and mistakes that should be actively avoided to ensure the safety, quality, and longevity of stored food. Ignoring these critical don'ts can lead to food spoilage, loss of nutritional value, or even health hazards, making this a significant point in the broader topic of long-term food storage. One major don't is storing food in unsuitable conditions. For instance, keeping food in warm, humid environments can accelerate spoilage due to increased bacterial growth and mold. A real-world example of this is storing grains or dried goods in a damp basement, which can lead to infestations of pests like weevils, making the food inedible. Another don't is neglecting to rotate stored food, which can result in expired items that are not suitable for consumption when they're actually needed. An example is canned goods that are placed in storage and forgotten, only to be discovered after the expiration date, creating waste and potential health risks. Experts in food preservation underscore the importance of these don'ts. They argue that following proper storage guidelines not only ensures food safety, but also maximizes the investment you've made in purchasing and storing the food. By contrast, failing to adhere to these guidelines can result in significant financial loss and food insecurity during emergencies. However, there are challenges and alternative viewpoints in implementing these don'ts. Some might argue that the ideal storage conditions are difficult to achieve in certain climates or living situations. Others might feel that the emphasis on strict adherence to don'ts could discourage people from beginning a storage plan at all, fearing they lack the perfect conditions. Despite these concerns, addressing these key don'ts is generally acknowledged as a step toward greater food security and preparedness. These don'ts influence other aspects of long-term food storage by encouraging proactive, preventive strategies. By avoiding these pitfalls, individuals engage in better planning, regular maintenance, and more thoughtful resource allocation. Recognizing the don'ts helps reinforce the importance of both the do's and don'ts in creating an effective and reliable long-term food storage system, and ensures that when the need arises, the stored food is safe and consumable.